if you slightly face that direction, not the direction that we are facing during the Jama'ah and in the Saf, you actually are doing something against three main hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, and you need to be aware of that. Because you, maybe some of us think this is the accurate Qibla, a little bit around 40 degrees or 30 degrees north, and they think this is the best to face it while we are in the Saf. So the Prophet ﷺ first hadith, that he says, إِنَّمَا جُعِلَ الْإِمَامُ لِيُؤْتَمَّ بِهِ. So the Imam has been appointed to follow him. That's the first hadith. So that means either you believe that the Imam, his prayer is nullified, so you shouldn't be prayed after him. Because if you believe that your Imam, his prayer is nullified because he's facing east, not northeast, you shouldn't follow him. Or you know that his prayer is valid, and in that case you are ordered to follow him. And I will remind you of what happened with Amr ibn al-As when he was the Imam, and he went in a battlefield, and the Prophet ﷺ appointed him, and he actually had a janaba. So he had a wet dream. And he told them, everybody knows of the Sahaba, you cannot pray until you have a bath, ghusl. So that's serious. Like, it's not about 40 degrees, because 30, 40 degrees in the Qibla, everybody in the scholars agrees this doesn't nullify your prayer. Okay? So everybody agrees about that. But if you pray without doing ghusl, everybody agrees that you don't have your prayer is nullified. Then he argued with them and told them, it's very cold now, and in the battlefield it's gonna be hot. The sun when it rises, it's gonna be hot, and I can die, and they will risk my life. So I'm gonna make tayammum. The Sahaba disagreed with him, and look what happened. He said, I'm gonna make tayammum, I'm gonna pray, I'm the leader, and I'm gonna be the Imam. He was the Imam. Everybody followed him. Everybody prayed after him. Everybody of the Sahaba disagreed with him, and they followed him as an Imam, because they know the Prophet ﷺ says that. إِنَّمَا جُعِلَ الْإِمَامُ لِيُؤْتَمَّ بِهِ. Then when they went back to the Prophet, asked it, like, that happened, and blah blah blah, what do you think? The Prophet ﷺ said, he's right. So he approved what Amr ibn al-As did, because you shouldn't risk your life in that case. So that's the first hadith. The second hadith, that the Prophet ﷺ asked the Sahaba, تَرَاصُوا وَاعْتَدِلُوا, to make your lines straight. That's very clear hadith. So if you believe that everybody is wrong, and you are the only one who are right, and you are doing this direction different than everybody in the line, you are against a second hadith. Because even if you feel you are right, you should follow the Prophet ﷺ when he says, straighten your lines. So you straighten your lines and ask everybody, you propose for everybody, guys, I think it's the best to go this way. If you are praying by yourself, or you are the Imam, you can do that. And in that case, everybody will have to follow you. Like if I am an Imam and I face that way, you are following me, you have to follow that direction. Because we cannot be everybody like in that, like going this direction and somebody going to this direction and somebody is going, that's not a salah. We have to face one direction. Okay, is there a hadith? For sure, the Prophet ﷺ encouraged us as saf in Allah, for sure, straighten your lines. And then the saf means that you are like a wall. The Muslims should be like a wall, so nobody can easily break into them. But that means that we are closer, we are strengthened together, we are in one direction. Okay? That's the only exception of all the madhab, is when you are inside the haram. So inside the haram. Why this is the only exception? Because you see the Kaaba by yourself. So if you're praying inside the Kaaba, you can face any wall of the Kaaba. If you are outside the Kaaba, you don't have to follow the Imam. So, no, inside the Kaaba itself. Okay, so there is two cases here. The first one, inside the Kaaba. If you, may Allah make us from these people who can visit inside the Kaaba, inshallah. So when you go inside the Kaaba, you can face anywhere. Whoa. So that you, if I pray with you, I can face that way, and you face that way, and we are okay. Okay, if we are outside the Kaaba, but inside the Haram, so you see the Kaaba by your eyes. You face the Kaaba, you don't need to follow the Imam. Okay, that's inside the Haram. Outside the Haram, you need to face one wall of the Haram from outside. If you can see the Kaaba, you have to face the Kaaba, any part of the wall of the Kaaba. If you can't, you face any part of the Haram. So if you are in Mecca, you cannot see the Kaaba, you face any part of the Haram. If you are outside Mecca, any part of Mecca. So that's the logic. So when you are saying that this is the accurate direction, who are you following? You are following application. Who made this application? people who did science. So they are calculating according to the shortest 2 points between you are and what they are trying to do to make it the shortest direction. Is that the accurate? Is that according to the ulama? No, it's according to what they think. But what any alim, any scholar in Islam will tell you that this direction, that's your qibla. So everybody in this direction, but at least the unity of Islam, the unity of Muslims is way important. So the degrees, we call it hay'at al-hay'ah. So it's not the must, it's hay'ah. What's the must? To face the direction of the qibla. Okay, does it have to be accurate, 100% accurate? Nobody said that. Well, everybody knows that straighten your lines, that you have to follow the Imam, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala encourages us to be in one saf. That's what we need to be educated about. Following the Jama'ah is way important than being accurate 100%. It's like, should I put my hands on my chest or in my belly button or down? That's hay'ah. That's not gonna be nullifying your prayer at all. There is some scholars say in your chest, some in your stomach, and some down your belly button. And some, even if you didn't put your hands in your chest at all, is that nullifying your prayer? No. So that's the same. When you have this degrees of direction, it's not gonna nullify. If you are praying by yourself for your imam, yes, you can. But at least if you're imam, you have to ask people behind you, because you should be following the norm. You know that Imam Shafi'i, in Madhab Imam Shafi'i, in the school of Imam Shafi'i, the qunut in Fajr, the dua after the ruku', not before, after the ruku', it's very highly recommended, which they call it ba'd min al-ab'ad. So they are few acts in the prayer that, like the qunut in Fajr, the middle tashahhud, and the salah on Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in the middle tashahhud. In the Shafi'i school, if you didn't do that, you should make sujood al-sahw. Okay? So Imam Shafi'i, when he went to the A'zamiyya where the Imam Abu Hanifa was, and that's after he passed away, years after he passed away. So Abu Hanifa is not there, and he went to Iraq twice. Shafi'i went twice. The first time he was learning, the second time he was a scholar. So everybody admitted he is the best to lead the prayer. Although he is Hanafi, and the qunut in the Fajr in Hanafi school is bid'ah. Imagine, bid'ah. It means that you are doing something very bad. And all of us are Hanafi, and we know that Shafi'i, he's gonna make qunut in Fajr, but we admit that he's the best scholar here, he will lead the salah. That's how they were. And then Shafi'i, when he led the prayer, he didn't make qunut, and he didn't even pray the sujood al-sahw. And they told him, did you change your madhab? Did you change your thinking about that? Or you forgot? And he said, neither of them. I didn't forget about the qunut, and I also didn't change my madhab. And then they told him, then why didn't you make the qunut? And he said, استحييت من أبي حنيفة أن أكون في محرابه وأخالفه. I felt shy to be in the masjid of Abu Hanifa and to disagree with him. That's his masjid. Everybody follows him. So what happens that Abu Shafi'i transferred himself of being mujtahid to be muttabi', to follow the Imam Abu Hanifa in his mosque. Why? Because he believed that the unity of Muslims in the prayer is way important than any of these disagreements.